Hello, I'm Robin. I'm a certified financial planner, certified private wealth advisor, wealth manager by trade, and your rich auntie. Today, I'm revealing the secrets that all wealth managers know to help people turbocharge their retirement savings. So stay with me. So, one thing I do as a wealth manager is help people prepare for retirement. For high net worth, ultra high net worth individuals, that's a whole different category. But for your average American, retirement savings is difficult. And it's difficult because retirement savings is largely in your hand. Yes, there are pensions if you're fortunate enough to have a pension, and there is Social Security, but it's well known by now that Social Security will not provide enough income for the average American to retire. So it is left up to you, the individual, to use either an IRA, 401k, 403b, 457 plan to save for retirement. Now, one of the most important questions in terms of saving for retirement is where will the money come from? It has to come from your paycheck and go into a retirement account in order to be effective. Most people, when they're faced with the issue of carving out several hundred to several $1,000s each month, don't know where the money can come from. I'm going to give you the secrets where money can come from to fund retirement. It's a lot of lifestyle choices, and it's up to you whether you want to make these choices. But personally, I think as many people as possible need to be maxing out their retirement savings. In 2024, that's $23,000 in a 401k or $30,000 if you are over the age of 50. Very few people get anywhere close to maxing out their retirement savings. But here are a few ideas where that money can come from. Number one, cars. I've seen more cars do retirements in than a little bit, meaning a person who needs to drive a new car every 3 to 5 years when the old car was just fine. Cars have become incredibly expensive since COVID. The average car payment in America is like $750 a month. Can you imagine if you took that $750 every single month and you put it into your 401k plan or your 403b or 457? That would allow you to turbocharge your retirement. Now, I know cars are a very peculiar thing because some people are really fanatical about their cars. Some people are really tied to their cars. And in some parts of the country, it's just not possible to keep a car 15 or 20 years. For example, if you live in the Northeast where winters are really harsh and they salt the roads, cars just do not hold up the same way versus if you live in sunny California where we don't really get snow or harsh weather, or we don't really have a winter or anything like that. A car can practically last forever. I would say get a good, reliable car, and good, reliable cars like a Toyota, a Honda, or a Subaru, or something that will last you forever, and keep it as long as it is feasible and as long as it is possible. I am a wealth manager. I drive an 11-year-old Toyota. It's not a beautiful car. It's not a fancy car, but no client has ever turned me down because of the car I've driven. No one has ever said, I don't love you. I can't date you. I can't be your friend because you drive an 11-year-old Toyota. If anything, people are deeply impressed that I can keep an 11-year-old Toyota going, looking good and in good order, and people really don't care what I drive. People think that other people are judging them based on their car, but oftentimes that's just not the case. People really don't care what you drive. Especially if you were young and out of college, I would try to keep that first car out of college as long as possible. People assume that when they have a child, they have to get a new car. That's not true. I mean, a child is in a car seat in the back of a car, unless what you're driving, you're driving a Mazda Miata or something that's just completely impractical for a child. But you can drive an Accord, you can drive a Civic, you can drive a Camry with a car seat in the back. You don't have to go out and buy, a Chevy Tahoe to haul your family around. That's a want, not a need. And of course, the money that you're saving in retire for a car, let's say you keep a car every 5 years, you're going to make a deal with yourself that you're going to do all the maintenance, you're going to keep it in order, and you're going to keep that car 10 years. The extra 5 years of payment that you were going to put into that new car, I want you to put that into your 401k account. For some people, if you know you're going to need a new car at the end of the 10 years and you're going to get yourself in a situation of financing it and you're already doing a good job of making savings for retirement, you can take half of it, add it to the retirement savings, half of it, put it in a high yield savings account or in the market. It's going to be another 5 or 7 years before you buy a car, so that when it's time to buy a car, you can go out and buy the next car largely cash. Personally, I don't believe in spending any more than $30,000 to $40,000 on a car. I've never spent more than $30,000 on a car, but in my adult life since college, I have had maybe 3 cars. 3 cars, that's it. So since graduate school, graduated at 22, I've had 3 cars because I keep them forever. I would basically make a deal with myself that a car is not very important. I'm going to keep it until the wheels fall off, and I'm going to use that money for my retirement savings. Number 2, personal grooming. Okay. Personal grooming, and that includes hair, nails, manicures, pedicures, massages, waxing, you name it, it's in that category. I've seen that take some people under. Myself in my 20s and in my 30s, I changed my hair a lot. In my 20s and 30s, I had really elaborate hairstyles that were very expensive and required a lot of maintenance. And when I add up how much money I've spent since my teens on my hair and nails and other things, it's probably the GDP of a small nation. It's really like a high 5-figure, low 6-figure amount. And I kick myself because even if I had taken half that money and put it into a brokerage account, I would be in a completely different financial stratosphere than I am right now. I wasted so much money on hair, on nails, on, waxing, on massages, on all these things that ultimately at the end of the day really didn't matter. And even in the case of hair, many elaborate hairstyles when you are younger just causes hair loss, which I am experiencing now. I really wish I had been smarter about personal grooming, and I would advise individuals to be smarter about personal grooming. Now, this doesn't mean that you need to look like an ogre, but take your personal care budget. If you needed to cut that in half, what could you live without? I haven't had my nails done in years and no one notices. I keep them trimmed, I keep them neat, I keep them clean. It's fine. No one cares. No one has said anything. No one has asked about it. No one has, refused to date me or refused to, hire me as a financial advisor because my nails weren't on point. A lot of the personal grooming habits that people have matter to them as an individual, but really don't matter to the outside world. I would say look at your personal grooming budget. If you're spending several $100s a month on personal grooming, see if you can cut that in half. Is there personal grooming that you can do yourself at home? Can you do your own nails at home? Can you do your own pedicure? Can you paint your own toenails? Can you do your own waxing or style your own hair? Take half that money and put it into a retirement account, and take half the money and continue with your current grooming regime. Third thing I've seen that can be used for retirement, and this is big, Amazon. One thing that people don't know about financial advisors and wealth managers is that we're not budgeters. I do not like it when someone comes to my office and asks me to help them create a budget. That's really not my job. And I'm really not very good at it. I help people invest and plan at higher level, but helping me figure out how much money you're spending on food and gas is not really a good use of the time, the money, and the skill that you are paying me for. You need to figure out your budget. All I care about is excess. Wealth is built in excess. Where there is excess, there is wealth. Amazon has become a huge killer of wealth for especially middle-class families. And I will tell you this, I have an Amazon Prime membership. I love Amazon. It has made my life infinitely easier. But it's a black hole, and you can end up getting sucked down this black hole where you're spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every month, and you have no idea where the money went. There was one couple that I did help with budgeting, and like I said, after I did this, I referred them to a budgeting specialist because it's not my wheelhouse, and it's not what I'm supposed to be doing. But one thing I realized was that they were spending at least $3,000 a month on Amazon. And I inquired about it, and they had no idea where the money went in Amazon. It wasn't very clear to the husband or wife where this money was going in Amazon. We actually went into their Amazon account, to just see, because I was infinitely curious where exactly this money was going. And it was junk. It was junk. It was knickknacks. It was gifts for other people. It was, party decorations. It was, some of it was, legit. It was paper towels for the house, cleaning products that they couldn't go out and didn't have time to buy. But I would say probably 75% of the items that we saw for that 1 month were complete junk, or were unnecessary, or somebody else really should have been paying the tab on that. And when I inquired more about Amazon, and they were like, oh, this was, a special month. This was December, so we took into account Christmas. And I'm like, bull crap. There are no special months. And, when you're looking at your budget, you don't make excuses for yourself. Well, I went on a trip this month, or it was Christmas, or it was Thanksgiving, or it was this and that. You're spending the money. I mean, the money's gone. It's Christmas or Halloween, or you went on vacation, or this, the money is an outflow on your account, and you have to take that into consideration with your budgeting. And so, in a situation like that, I would strongly advise them to seriously slash their Amazon budget. They probably, $750 of that spending was absolutely necessary. Budget $750 for Amazon every month, and that's it. Stop buying crap, stop buying stuff for other people, stop buying gifts, stop sending stuff all over the country to kids in college and this and that, and let them buy their own stuff. Take whatever money that you can save from Amazon and put that into a retirement account. The fourth item, this one is a bonus item, is dining out. So I am guilty of this myself. I don't like cooking. I rarely cook. It is very difficult for me to cook. I don't have time, and I don't have the energy or interest to learn how to cook. I dine out a lot. I spend a lot of money dining out. Some people spend absolutely staggering amounts, especially in big cities like LA, New York City, San Francisco, where you have your pick of wonderful restaurants. Some people spend thousands of dollars dining out. I did have one client whose, dining out was really excessive, and he came up with a very unique solution. One thing he really enjoyed was Chipotle, and Chipotle does make some healthy meals. He decided to, at the beginning of every month, he would order catering from Chipotle for like about 25 people. He would get that catering, bring it home. He had meal prep boxes, and he would basically break up the Chipotle into meal prep boxes. He would freeze it and every day take out a Chipotle box and eat it for dinner. And he was able to save a considerable amount of money. I thought it was a very clever and unique way to approach it and still eat relatively healthy food. I don't care how people do it, but oftentimes the dining out budget in these areas can be very excessive. Even if you cut it in half and just say, I'm going to eat out half as much as I'm doing now, and I'm going to take the rest and put that money in the retirement accounts. So there you have it. Some secrets that financial advisors, wealth managers know that can help turbocharge your retirement. Ultimately, at the end of the day, any sort of changes in budgeting or spending is up to the client. I can make suggestions, I can point people in directions, but once again, financial advisors and wealth managers really don't get into budgeting or spending. We only deal with the excess, and wealth is always built in excess. Leave a comment, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, and if you found this information useful, please do subscribe. Thank you.